Okay, you guys, welcome to the podcast. This is my relationship podcast. I'm Z, and I'm so happy you guys are here. Pew, pew, pew. So, first we got Mari Astrology with Mari. Yes, go follow him, follow all his tags. Twitter, he doesn't have Twitter. You don't have a Twitter. Anyway, Instagram, TikTok, the Steves. Anyway, go catch him on YouTube too. He posts live on there. Yes. So we're gonna get into these questions. I had a whole bunch of segments, but Mari likes it when I keep it quick. Anyway, let's start. Let's start with our. Let's start with topics. So the first topic is gonna be polyamory. I love that topic.
Okay.
Only because there's so many like different ideas when it comes to polyamory. Some people get really angry about it, like unnecessarily angry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You said you do get angry, but like for different reasons.
For different
reasons.
Of course, for different reasons.
Yeah.
Not the public outrage angry, but more personal angry, like with the partners involved. Because what are they doing?
Yeah.
So
I was talking about more publicly outraged. People hate when you say like no. They're like polyamory. Anyways, let's get into it. There's so many questions that you can ask when it comes to this topic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Let's start off simple. What do you think are common misconceptions of polyamory?
So I think that the common misconception of polyamory is the fact that they all love each other. Like they all love each other. They all love each other equally. No, I'm tired. There's always a favorite in the poly group. There's always a favorite. There's always people being together more than they should. There's always more bonds being strengthened in a poly relationship. And I feel like if they just wanted to strengthen it with a group of people, they're basically on The Bachelor, but it's like a closed bachelor. Like they just have all these people that they just want to get with until they find the right one. And I feel like they always secretly branch off and they have a real relationship instead of a poly relationship. Whenever you see like the guy with two girls or whatever, he always likes one of the girls more. You could see she gets more gifts, stuff like that. And you can always tell who the favorite is. And I feel like it's just them trying to have their cake and eat it too. But one cake tastes better than the other cake. One cake tastes better. And I feel like at this point, if you wanted to have a bakery, you can just do it one by one, if that's the case. Like, I feel like they're instead of taking time to get to know one person, they're taking time to get to know a whole bunch of people at once until they pick their favorite. Because somebody's always being left out in the bedroom, too. Let's talk about that. But what are your thoughts?
Because I was just going to say, like, not handing out the sex like roses.
Like roses.
Like, you get a rose tonight.
And then you ask for permission to include another person. Talk about soul ties and everything. You just created multiple that you're going to keep within the group.
Because now that's my question. Like, are they having threesomes? Or is it just like...
They having
you said what?
Groups. They having groupsomes. Threesomes.
And group sex. Whoever you want to bring.
Exactly. And then for there to be any type of jealousy would just ruin the whole facade because you're not supposed to be jealous with the poly relationships.
Ooh. But you know they are.
They are.
I'm for sure you watch that. And that's what I was going to say because I was like, I think it depends on like how you come into it. So like they used to have that little polyamory TV show or whatever where, you know, like the couple is already together and they're looking for somebody else. But what if like y'all all came, you know, like I met this one person, we was like, cool, all right. Like it always starts off two, and that's why I think it's like, that's where the favorites come in because it's just like I know you longer, and then jealousy.
Exactly.
You know.
And then let you fall for the new person that you brought into the two group, and then it's like there's always a regret of like we shouldn't have brought that person in and stuff like that. And it's like, can you kick them out? Like, do you have to have a meeting to kick somebody out now?
Like you can definitely kick out. No, because. And I promise you, I'm gonna just use this as a reference because now it just keeps popping up in my head. But like literally, one of the situations was it's like this couple, they were looking for like a girlfriend or whatever because you know the guy wanted a girlfriend, and it's like they was going through women like quick, and like they would like invite the women over, like they would hang out, get to know their kids, they would get to know the other person's kids and stuff like that. And mind you, it only like because they're like, oh, we only been talking for like 2 months, like they would not take the time to like actually get to know this person. So then they like try to move them in. It's been like probably 6 months, 8 months, or whatever. Then they break up, find a new one. It's just the same thing. My phone is charging, that's less. Doing all this extra stuff. But yeah, so I was just like, now I'm thinking about, okay, well, what about the women? Like, how do the men feel when the women want to bring in, like, you always see like guy, girl, girl, but you never see like guy, guy, girl. You know, like you just don't ever see like those type of
It's
dynamics.
rare.
Yeah.
It's rare. I've seen it a few times, and the girl would talk about how she loves all her boyfriends equally and stuff like that. But it's
I
like,
love my boyfriend. Ooh, I think that's different than polyamory. Like, you
it
know,
is
like
because the
that's the
guys
part.
don't normally. Oh, right, because there'll be guys with multiple women, and then okay, that's different. That's
Because
different.
like technically
But
they like dated, they all know about each other and stuff like that. But like, you know, like they don't cohabitate with each other. Like they don't live together. They don't bring the kids around each other. Like,
okay. I don't know. I feel like a guy wouldn't be as open, but he should. Although I've never really heard too much pushback in the poly community about guys being mad that you bring somebody in. I think that he'll be more so willing if he's able to bring somebody in too. So you guys have different people that you can go off and be with.
I'm like, don't do that. Don't only do it because you like I can use it. Well,
no, since you thought about that, I had somebody on mine too, right? Like, and you know he was seeing that person before, like, and they always have these weird groups that you're not supposed to be with anybody outside of the poly group. But what is stopping the other person? What is stopping the other
not supposed
person?
to be with somebody outside of.
As in, like, if this poly group is together, you're not supposed to be with anybody outside of that. You have to ask for permission.
That's crazy.
You know they're not listening, but you have to ask for permission and stuff like that. But every time I talk to somebody about and it's like every time I talk to somebody about it, they always talk about how there's always somebody that broke the rule and it kind of made the whole group kind of disband, or it kind of made them a little toxic.
I said maybe because I'm just like the rules are kind of open then. Like, are we sure? Are we sure that was breaking the rules? Like,
it's breaking the rules to them.
It seems weird.
It's breaking the rules because there's a meaning to the poly name. I don't know what it is per se, but I know that there's a meaning to it.
Because now I'm just like, technically y'all in an open relationship. But since
it's an open closed door policy. Okay, once they bring the people in the house, they close the door. That's how it is.
That's just a funny ass analogy. Like okay, like let's bring her in. Nobody else would close that door.
You look through the peephole and okay, what's your name?
I was gonna say, I guess like my misconception, I was gonna say that is like maybe I think that we think that they're a lot more jealous than, you know, like when we were talking about like one person has to be jealous or whatever. Like I think that there are a lot of poly relationships where people, like they don't care. Like they are mutually attracted to each other. Like they're all attracted to each other. So I think that they like, you know, they have a little bit more fun there.
I think so too. No, I was just saying, I think so too. I agree.
I guess I was just gonna say like maybe I considered a little poly relationship one time.
Oh, okay. It couldn't be me. I don't share at all. I don't share at all. You even mentioned trying to bring somebody else in. You can go be with that person, live happily ever after. Cool, you know. But I couldn't share. No, I couldn't share. I think that just you wanting somebody else is just insulting to me. It's insulting to me, and it's insulting my intelligence because I thought when I laid eyes on you, you laid eyes on me. I didn't know you had a wondering eye because where was that? Like, should have told me. Like, I would take it offensively. I would. But I respect people who want to do what they want to do because it has nothing to do
Yes,
with me.
specifically that.
Exactly. I respect it. And
I
I
think
think it's
my
very interesting. I think it's very interesting, and I would definitely ask tons of questions, like who you with today? Is that one of your partners? Like, we gonna look in public. Is that the one you recruited out with today? Like, I'm
it's
thinking
not for
so
you.
much.
It's not for you, baby. Don't even try it. Leave it alone. Because I was like, maybe only because I wanted a little girlfriend one time. I was just like, like it's gonna be me and my mans, and then I got a girlfriend, and then like just both loved me, like like I'm a Leo. I like extra love anyway. that's where I was coming from.
Okay. Question. So, what if you go into a poly group and there's like 10 people? Will you be able to man? No, because
Not a
that's how the
poly
group
group.
is. The poly group.
You
There's
join
like,
the sex orgy. You don't date anyone there. You
oh,
just
oh, oh.
I just don't think no. Like there's no way you can seriously. And I'm like,
That's everybody that be talking to me about the little poly groups. It'd be more than 3. You trying to romanticize it? Where it's just 3 people, y'all all love each other equally, love triangle.
how
No, the
equally?
poly means more than one person. It can go up to 20 people, up to 10 people. That's what I'm saying. There's an open closed door policy where there's multiple people that want to be together. When somebody decides they want to be with somebody else, it fluctuates to wanting to be with one person and wanting to be with multiple people. Like, why just have the one person that I could be with when I could find their type times 10? And now so I can never get bored. I'll never get bored of whoever I'm with. No. Now it's ridiculous. Now you changing your mind. Is that too much? Is that too much?
So many thoughts, sorry, because I was like, I didn't finish my thought. What I came to the conclusion my conclusion was that I am a monogamous person.
Oh.
Like I hate each other.
Oh, okay.
I do get jealous, and I hate when people is like just really all up on my man. So like, if we trying to cuddle, and then I got 10 other bitches.
Okay, can you even touch his body at that point? Like, you trying to cuddle and there's 10 people on the bed? Can you even reach his skin? Like, you think you cuddling with him, but it's one of the girls? Like, I'll be so mad. You thought you grabbed his leg. It's not even his leg.
You're like, I'd be so mad. Like, I'm on one side and you on the other side, and I'm trying to put my arm and you put your arm near me. Like,
No. Watch you want to put your arm near him and one of the girls go.
Everybody's getting stabbed in that place. Understand why we even got here in the first place.
My bad. Taking it back. Did you have another question about the poly thing? Can I ask a question?
Okay, because I did. I said, if you were in a polyamorous relationship, then how would you handle spending your time? Because you got me dying over here. I'm literally crying my eyes out.
I'm just saying. Your eyes watery, your teeth shiny though. You got good teeth. Your teeth shiny.
Bro, I've been using that little Arabic oil pulling. Yeah. Yes. Come in clutch. He did.
I'm gonna show you something else as well, because they got the little natural whitening strips that you can use as well, and it's the same brand. Yeah, I'll show you. Okay, so how would I spend my time? So is it with 2 people or with 5? Okay, no, I'll do both.
The new world to me.
So if it's with one person, I'm spending all my time, of course. No. If it's with 2 people, then I would split it in half. I would split it in half with one person to 2 people, and they would either have to understand, huh?
Like split your time during the day.
Yeah, during the day. I'll spend my time during the day with two people, with the two of them. I feel like they would have to spend the other half of that time with each other. That way, it's a full day. A full day is
We
completed.
love each other.
Exactly. That's how that's gonna have to work. If I agree to it, it's gonna have to work. Like, and I think it'd be cool if I like it, but I don't think that I'm ever going to even be there. Now, if it's 5 people, I'm gonna divide it in days. Okay, one get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I got Saturday, Sunday to myself. I'm gonna feel like I'm clocking into work because I don't have the emotional availability to give to 5 people. Like, I'm gonna give to 2 to 3 people, then the fourth and fifth, I'm maxed out. Like, I'm tired. Let's cuddle. I'll be like, let's cuddle. Come on. I'm tired.
I did not think that you were texting all of the other 4, but yeah, okay.
I didn't know you were texting that. I said emotional labor. Goodness. Get your head out the gutter.
I just want to cuddle. And I'm like, that's already the emotional part anyway.
No, because the emotional part is I love you, I appreciate you, like listening to their day. I don't care what the fourth and fifth person's day was like. Come lay on this bed. Like, I set up the pillows just right. Let's put on a movie. They ask questions during the movie. I'm going to cut them off. Like, I'm tired. I'm tired. I don't got time. No, I'll be so upset. Like, I'm probably gonna cuss the fifth one out because I'm fed up. I'm fed up.
So that they don't feel, so that the person on the 5th day, they're just like, oh, that's just one of his days today. But he gave me love throughout the week. You feel me?
Hopefully the week fluctuates because if they always Friday, they know what Friday is. Like, they better enjoy the other days with the other people. Hopefully they have one of those days with somebody else, but it's not like they my least favorite. They just not gonna get me, Yeah. I'm stretched too.
Okay, what if he was the least favorite out of all of everybody? So everybody's spending time with everybody else but you.
If I'm the least favorite?
Yeah. Like, imagine.
I'm leaving the group. Obviously there's bullying going on. Like, I'm excommunicating myself. I'm gonna put in my 2-week notice. I'm gonna put in my 2-week notice. I'm saying goodbye to my favorite. Even though I'm not their favorite, I'll be like, I respected you. And then I'm gonna say goodbye to everybody except the one I know hates me most. I'll be like, you can choke, and then I leave the house. I'm leave the house.
But it's like, now I'm like, what if somebody is jealous of you? So they like deliberately try to get you out the group. Like, they start planning stuff on you, trying to frame you for cheating.
Well, then we're gonna have to have a group meeting, and then we just gonna have to fight right there. Like, I'm gonna have to make an example. I would. Yeah, I would have to make an example.
Just try to make the other one leave. I'm just like, you're gonna.
Oh no! Oh dang! No, we can stay. They gonna see that person for who they are. They gonna see that person for who they are. And then we all gonna switch up the energy. Now that person exiled. Your turn. How are you gonna switch it between? How you gonna divide your time between 2 people and then between 5 people?
Okay, 5, because that was not it for me.
5.
Already the 2.
Poly is 3 or more than 3. So go. Your turn.
The 2 already get split down the week. I can't do that.
The week.
You want 2 people in the same day.
You don't got time? Like an hour with one and an hour with the other on the phone or something?
No, like 1 week with one person, 1 week with the next person. It's split between 2 months because it's only 4 months.
So you want have the other one stranded for a week without seeing you? Oh, okay. Jeez.
Like, that's where I think about, because, like, the person that I'm really interested in, like, I'm only really interested in one, so I really don't even want to see you other than this. Like, so really, y'all just there for, like, whenever I want y'all to. So probably wouldn't even be throughout the month. It's probably periodically throughout the year.
Throughout the year is crazy.
2 months with you, 2 months with you.
Throughout the year is crazy. So they're gonna be 2 months in a relationship but really single. Like, they don't have nobody to spend the holidays with because that's not the holiday they're gonna see you at.
No, for the holidays we can all get together.
That's the only time they can come around.
I don't believe.
2
Fly
months
you
is
out. I'm gonna fly you
crazy.
out. You said what?
2 months is crazy.
That's because you like to see your people. Like you love to be in each other's faces. I'm not that type. Like I don't want to talk to you all the time. I don't want to talk to you every day. Like you talking about on the fifth day. I'm like, babes, like that's 3 days.
I'm gonna try. If there's 5 people, I'm gonna make it work. Okay. So how you gonna do 5 people? Is it once a year? You gonna see one once a year?
If I had like, yeah, no. I'm like once every 6 months. Like, we're FaceTiming that whole time though. Like
Once every 6 months?
like we could FaceTime and everything that whole time. Like I'll probably come see you like once or whatever throughout the month or throughout every 2 months. That's once a month.
That's better. No, because once every 6 months, that was a lot. That was a lot. Like, you might as well just tell them you hate them. Like, okay, that one's the one that makes sense. That makes sense. If it's like once every 2 months for 5 people or something, maybe. Because one for, like, you was making it seem like the 2 people that you're with and the 5 people are the same amount of stress on you. Like, you was giving the people that are just 2 people, you was giving them the same energy you giving 5 people.
Almost. Like, because besides only one person, I can't focus on people like that. Like literally, and I'm learning this because my little ADHD brain.
So
But I can
what
focus
is
if I see you. If I don't see you, then you're just completely out of my mind. I don't even think about you. Like, and then I might just periodically think about you, which will make me want to go see you, maybe come home. Other than that, so then what are you there for?
so what if you
Terrible polyamorous.
So what if you end up getting pregnant?
Ooh, I don't know why. I don't know why that used to be like my little, not a sex fantasy. just that I was in a relationship with 2 guys and I was pregnant, but they both loved me. So no, we're not gonna do no DNA test, and maybe they was brothers, and maybe
Incest. That's not like
maybe we
incest
don't
to me.
care. No, because they don't fuck each other, so it's not.
No, that's not like incest to me. Like, they have to be brothers. Like, you was really
They
pushing.
just happen to be twins, but they both love me.
They went from 2 lovers to brothers to twins.
It was just a specific book I was reading anyway.
Right. I'm about to say, interesting.
Look, okay, it just used to be a little fantasy of mine, but the point is they both gonna love that baby. They both gonna take care of it.
Okay.
So, next topics, we're gonna talk about age gaps. Okay. Now, I feel like this could be a sensitive topic because people are currently,
Who cares? Who cares about them? I don't care about them.
they're just really going home on this, like, sugar daddy. Get your sugar daddy. And I don't want you guys to be triggered, but let's talk about it. Anyway.
Okay.
So, if you were dating an older person, how would you keep the romance in your life? No, because, triggered, mind you. Like, just that, because I have dated older people or whatever, and specifically, when it comes to this question, like, just a little bit of context, like, you're a more fun, go out to eat, do different activity type of things, and the person that you're with is older, but they don't like to do those type of things. Like, they just want to stay in the house. They don't want to do nothing. They just want to watch TV. So good.
Okay.
How do you feel?
So, how much older though? What is the years?
Ooh. I would say like, yeah, probably, because I was thinking like 35, right? That's probably like the oldest, but then like, let's go a little bit older. So like 35 to 50.
So, will we say 20 years older or 10 years? 15?
20 years.
Okay, 20 years. So, I feel like if that person didn't want to do anything, unfortunately, I'm the type that's we're gonna do what I want to do anyway. So regardless of what they wanted, regardless of if they wanted to stay in the house, I'm going to create an activity that they have to go outside regardless. I feel like dating an older person comes with a lot of good things and a lot of bad things because when it's time for wisdom, they know what to do. When it's time for, getting things done with the system, with the government, with years of experience that they have, I think that'd be good in the long run because I'll never be able to struggle in an area that my younger brain couldn't fathom. But on the other hand, I feel like they're closer to death. Like, they're closer to death. Like, I feel like if I was a lot younger, it would have been easier to create memories. But it's just like I don't want to have to deal with them getting old as a part of the relationship growth. Like I don't think that I'm old enough to want to deal with, with them going through the stages of aging. I already feel like when somebody ages super old, they're gonna die and I'm never gonna see them again. Like I already get the little freak outs for that. Yeah. And so
Well,
no, I
like, that's
do. I
strange.
feel no, I feel like when like the older generation, even family members, they're too old. I feel really sad. Like I'm never. This could be the last day I see them and stuff. So I feel like with a
Like, I can say
relationship
it
partner.
last, but yeah. Yeah. Like,
So I feel like with the lasting effects of that playing into the relationship, I don't know if it's something I'm going to be able to do for very long. Like I feel like if they are supporting me or whatever, that's cool. That's great. I'll enjoy the time. But I know the saying is like, what do we have in common? Like, what do you and somebody that's 20 years older than you have in common? Like, we come from totally different generations, totally different backgrounds, totally different viewpoints on everything. Like, back when they were a certain age, they could afford this, and now we can't no more, and they're mad that I can't afford it. Like, no, it was just on your time. Like, there's just certain things that I'm going to have to deal with when it comes to them that's just going to upset me. Now, if they got life insurance, we could talk about that. If they got life insurance, like,
yeah.
but, but,
I guess
but,
that matters.
but if they're not even at an age where they're going to die, like, I don't think life insurance plays a part, but I'm just saying, like, security. But I feel like that's just a part of the game that I don't want to play for very long. I would rather be the older person in the situation because at least I know that I'm gonna go outside. I don't know. I know I'm gonna want to touch some grass. Like they want to stay in the house and watch TV, and they watching the old shows. Like, mm-mm, mm-mm. Because now I'm a caretaker. I'm a caretaker.
I'm going with some shit. Oh God.
I'm a caretaker. Yeah. So your turn. How would you feel? They don't want to leave the house and they want you to maybe stay in with them sometimes as date ideas, fun date ideas, stay in the house with them. Um, but you're a homebody though, so it's not fair.
I was
Okay.
just gonna say, I'm gonna stay. Like, I'm gonna stay inside. Like, I guess I was just thinking about, he who should not be named anyway. But I was just thinking about him, and he was the type to just like. Anyway, we discussed that, and we was saying our little speculations on why that was the case, that he wanted to like, just sit in the house more often. But yeah, so I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, in that instance, I I did want to get out, but I didn't want to force him. Like I was just telling him that I wanted to get out, and he would just say no. And so then I would just be like, okay, but then I still want to go out. So I think I would just break up with him. Like, it's
um,
just not worth it.
how long would you give into the relationship before you want out? How much time would you invest?
I mean, now learning my lesson, do not let it take too long, y'all. Okay, like I'm like, don't stay here for like a year or so talking about like, yeah, like maybe we'll figure out something to do, or I'll just figure out something that he actually wants to do. Maybe it's more his speed or more their speed, whatever. But it's like, yeah, like don't waste your time, babes. Like if he doesn't want to do what you want to do, but you seriously want to go out, go out. And you're gonna fight the man when you go out, and you're gonna love it there. Yeah,
Right.
break up with him.
Right. I was about
Break
to
up.
say, like, I couldn't. I couldn't fathom being told what to do anyway, so I wouldn't listen in a relationship. Like, if I wanted to go out, I would
Anyway,
say, "Do you want to go out?" And they would be like, "No." I'd be like, "Okay," but I would already be out the door. I'd be like, "Okay,
and
see you when I get home."
I hated being one of those friends that'd be like, or just feeling like I can't really call my spouse to be there with me because I'm just like I'm going out, I'm having fun. You know, couples go out and they have fun, and I'm just like, you shouldn't feel like you're the only person who can't take your spouse with you. Like you got to be a single friend because you don't want to stay at home.
Right, right,
Stuff I was kind of
for
hating.
sure.
Anyway, okay. So, what relationship advice would you give to people who are currently in an age gap relationship?
Mm, I think that there needs to be a balance of what the older family members and friends of theirs think of the relationship. Because I feel like the number one thing that happens is the older person is a lot more smarter than the younger person. And so they'll take advantage of them. You know, they'll come in as a certain figure in their life that they didn't have before, because that's what normally happens when somebody dates somebody really old or older than they are. It's a lack thereof. Like, there will be people with daddy issues that'll date father figure types. There'll be people with mom issues that'll date mother figure types. And they'll go for that age because that will help them fulfill something in themselves that they weren't able to get naturally, or they were missing out on, or just the parents that they had were horrible. And so they wanted the better version of that. And that's why they hurry up and try to have kids themselves so they could redo it and be the better parents. But that would be the
Preach,
advice I would give
preach.
people. And then when it comes to the older people in the situation, I guess you would just want to make sure that they're there for the right reasons. I feel like a lot of times the younger person is there for ulterior motives because they know that they're in their prime and you may not be anymore. And how society sees youth is so obsessive with youth, they can get anybody still. So I feel like you shouldn't feel like you need to compete with the younger people out there. I feel like if you get them to commit to you and you know that for a fact, you could let your guard down only when you know that for a fact. And that means you need to talk to, their friends or their family, get to know them, but do some investigation work. I feel like a lot of the times when people are together, the ulterior motives don't show up until, a few years into the relationship. And then it's like you could have scrapped the whole relationship, like you said, at year one, and they didn't. So I feel like that kind of comes into play and it has like catastrophic effects that I don't like. What about you?
And like you said, so many good things. Like
Thank you.
honestly, like how can I even?
Try your best. Try your
I'm
best.
like literally, like okay, half of those things, yeah, yeah. That's what I want to say. But I guess like to touch on just like the manipulation part, like or just the not just first point is the parental issues. I don't think it's just for age gaps. I'm gonna just say this anyway, but just that like people need to figure out their parental issues that they have first before getting into relationships. Because like you said, most of the time it's you're trying to fill in that bigger space, and that's not a healthy thing to do in a relationship because the dynamic will always be off, and you'll never even know where to start with that.
Mm.
But yeah, when it comes to manipulation, there is a lot of manipulation when it comes to age gaps. I feel like more so than it is in like just regular relationships. Because I was like on both parties. Like you got the older person, and sometimes it's not always perverted. We probably just think that because we think like, oh, that's man, like like trying to touch on little girls, anyway. But from not perverted standpoint, just that like you go after that younger person because you're just like maybe I don't want to do the same society things like, and I literally hear I'm gonna do my research on what older women say, but I hear more older men say like you don't want to go for the lady that's just your type. You want to go for the younger woman because they're not looking for the same things that older women do, and they don't hold men to the same standards that older women do. So that's why they go for little girls. But
Right. Emphasis. Little girls. Little
so
girls.
that's why I'm like, yeah, little girls and women. Let us not be played by the simple mind tricks of these men because yeah, even if you want to date an older man, like there is a way to go about it where you get a sophisticated older man where he's not trying to take advantage of you. And he actually wants to be in a relationship, in a stable relationship, like those type of things. So I think that that's where we just need to get a little bit smarter. And when it comes to these age gaps, you really have to question yourself, like, what can they give for me? What can I give to them? Those type of things where you just yeah. So it's not hold over your head later, and that person is just telling you like, well, I did this for you, and other things like that. So
Exactly.
yeah, I'm like very, very food. But one more question.
Okay.
One question. Then we're
Okay.
gonna wrap up. But okay, so when it does come to the it says like challenges and rewards, but I guess I want to frame it more of like you know the status of the person and the relationship. So in age gaps, there kind of is a little bit of a status gap in the relationship as well. So how do you
That is
address those
how.
gaps?
Oh,
What do you
status
say?
how? Like, is it like status, money status, or youth status?
Um, I guess I was thinking like more society, like it doesn't have to be
Oh,
more money,
society.
but yeah, like maybe they are philanthropists. They like do different things in the world or whatever. And I wouldn't say status. You're right. Like it's just a different job. But like if there is more esteem for one person, then if a person is held to a higher esteem in an age gap relationship, like how would you handle those type of things?
Okay. I think that you should go first on this one since I went first the last time, and I'll follow up after your response.
Okay. So I guess the way that I would handle it, Hmm. I guess it depends on like if the person was jealous, like if it was brought up to you by your partner rather than someone who's just like looking in and asking that question. I think it's different because it's like, does the person that you're in a relationship with, do they put you on a pedestal? Do they hold you to a higher self-esteem to themselves? So I think that that's important for people to just really look at, because when it comes to those like, and even if you aren't jealous, I think that it's important to really just talk to your partner about how you feel um, within those social settings and how other people make you feel within those social settings. And I think it means something when your partner actively goes out of their way or actively tells their friends or tells the people that are around, because like when it gets in those different social settings or whatever, people are trying to be formally polite, so they feel like they can't really say anything. But if it's about my partner and my partner was telling me like, they don't feel comfortable, the people that I'm around is making them feel uncomfortable, and they want to like be around me because of those type of settings, then that's where I'm just like, yeah, I would make a note to tell the people that I'm around, like, this is the person I'm with. Don't be making any comments. Don't be smart about it. Yeah, I think I would just like I would choose my partner in this setting. So I was like, the status doesn't really matter to me, but as long as they're comfortable, then I will be okay with it.
Okay. I had you go first because I didn't understand what you said. I didn't understand the question at all. I was like, status.
Oh
you
my
know.
God, Mari.
And I still didn't understand what the topic was as you was even talking. I was like,
Oh my God. Because I'm
okay,
like,
okay.
maybe I should have worded
And
it
your
differently.
explanation did not help. I get what you said though. It was like,
What you say now?
and I would just tell him this. Don't make any comments. I'm like, oh, okay.
I can't with
Um,
you. Literally, her agree.
okay. So I'm gonna try my best here.
Mhm.
Um, when it comes to the status thing, I think that because I do social media, it's already seen as something weird. They're very curious. They're very intrigued, and I found that my status actually has to be hidden. So it's a very interesting topic for me. I feel like if my partner was jealous, they're older, they're homebodies or whatever, and or no, that's a different question. But if I feel like if me and my partner were out and about and stuff like that all the time, and the status thing were brought up, I think that one of two things can happen. I'd either be looked at as social media isn't a real job, because they're older. They're from that generation where you could make money from social media. And now everybody's doing podcasts like we are. Like, they come from a generation where you need to
be like, what if the partner that, because I was like, okay, what if your partner is saying like, they want you to be, not want you to be, but want to be in the same status as you. Like, you're social media famous and they're doing whatever, but they still want to be social media famous.
Okay, I would help them. I don't have a problem. I don't think that
But
would.
they're not jealous, but like they have to handle, being in social settings where people recognize you. People are,
Oh.
Yeah. So you're technically.
I don't really have a problem with that at all. Like, if they want to do it, they can do it in time. It didn't take me that long with the knowledge that I didn't know. The fact that I have knowledge on how to grow now, I would just grow a lot faster. So I could help them grow a lot faster. I would just have to make sure that they're equipped for this type of status because a lot of people can't handle fame and it changes people. And I don't want to be with this partner and then they get onto my status and then they start to switch up, You know how when they say you have a lot of money, it either makes people, who already, appreciate you, it just makes them proud of you, but it changes everybody else's perception of you. Or if you're famous, then your partner is excited for you, but when they get famous, because they didn't have the equip to be famous, they start to show their true colors for the first time. And I don't want my partner to change in a negative way once they get a few followers, I guess that'll kind of that'll annoy me a little bit because I think that there needs to. No, I think that there needs to be some humility because let them talk about, oh, I got 10,000 followers. I'll be like, oh, I have 15,000 followers in a week. I got that. I got 50,000 in a week.
I'm like, you'll never know. Like, you'll never know if they're that type of person until they actually do. So,
right. But it's like I guess that would be the hesitation that I have then. Because I wouldn't want to have to crush their social media dreams because I would crush them like a bug. I would crush them like a bug.
Saboteur.
Right. I'll do a story time real quick. Like.
Oh my God. Okay. So I was like, technically, from what I get out of that is that you're okay with you being the esteemed one in the relationship, but if the other person doesn't already come up there, then you're like, no, I don't want to grow and build with you. Like, if you come up and you start acting different.
What I mean is, I know who I am with these followers. I don't know who they about to become. I'll help them get there. They just better be on their best behavior while they on their way up and while they're there. Because if they think they could talk down to people, oh, I got this many followers, like they use that as an argument, then that shows that they're not equipped to have this type of power, and I'm going to snatch it from them. Because I created the monster. It's up to me.
You're literally so terrible.
I created the monster, so I gotta take the monster down myself. It's prophecy.
That's actually kind of terrible. I did want to ask this question. It's just one more question.
Sure.
But not how do you communicate, but if you and your partner did have difficulties communicating within these areas, how would you, figure it out? So if you and your partner had trouble communicating in finances, in children, and about retirement, how would you guys work it out?
In retirement, because they gonna retire a lot faster than me.
Yeah. They got their retirement ready.
Right. So if that's the case, it depends on what the differences are. I feel like if they are going to disagree with children, as in they don't want to have any, and I don't have any children, we might have a problem. You being 20 years older than me, you knew what this was. You knew who you got. Like, I still got some youth left in me. Like, I require children, unless you want to do the surrogate thing, but that's pricey.
I'm like, they gonna have my genes. I don't know about yours.
Right. So, are you gonna feel a type of way towards a child? I don't know, but that'll be a disagreement there. when it comes to retirement, I'll be happy if they're able to retire because I want to travel the world and do all this fun stuff anyway. So if they getting their little checks, okay, cool. You got the lunch money for us. I'll pay for the trip. Done. Done. Now, if they don't want to retire and they could retire, I'm gonna have a problem because you shouldn't be overworking yourself when you just earn retirement because that's gonna upset me.
I'm like, what if they retire too?
Huh?
They're like, I'm retired. I'm retiring. It's time for you to retire too.
Then they don't know what social media is because there is no retirement from social media. Like,
social media. At that point,
right. Followers are gonna be old, but I'm still gonna be old too. So I just got old followers now. They're not gonna go nowhere.
Okay.
Okay,
Marty,
is it over?
Take the extra question and after that, but I gotta go.